What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you're all doing really well. We've got a big news update one for today. We're going to talk about the upgrade system moving into 10.2 into the next season. So they're making some really great quality of life changes to the upgrade system. And what I'm talking about is primarily the crests that we're all getting for doing different kinds of content, right? These crests down here, your worm and your aspect shadow flame crests. We're going to talk all about the changes that are coming to those things in the big news article posted right here. Let me just make it nice and big there. We'll go down a little bit. So, dev blog gear upgrade system for improvements Dragonflight season 3. I'm going to go through all of these in my notes over here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Notes over here. Here we go. Okay. So, first and foremost, they're going to increase the length of the different tracks. So the hero and the mythic track. So in season 2, the one we're in right now, they added the mythic track at the very end, right? So some of your abilities could become mythic. You could upgrade them a little bit further. I have some of those. I got champion level gear here, veteran, and then we've got champion over here. That's a heroic neck, I believe, right there. And then I should have mythic something. Maybe there's a heroic one. There's a mythic one. So my ring is a 3 out of 3 mythic, and the track length for mythic was 3, and the heroic length was 5. So you could upgrade it 5 times. You could upgrade a mythic item 3 times. They are boosting that to 6 and 4 respectively. So mythic track items will go to +4, and heroic ones can go all the way to +6 now. So that's going to, and the champion levels I don't think are changing at all. Let me look at this really quick. So that's going to create a distinction between these different upgrade tracks. They want to make it so that if you get a champion level piece of gear, which is like normal raid or mythic plus level like 11 or 12 in that range, that's only going to go so far. And they want to make it so that if you're doing the higher tier content, which is going to give you heroic level gear or mythic level gear, that it's worth it to do that, because you can now upgrade those 1 track higher than you could before. So it's further separation from the champion level gear to the heroic level gear and the mythic level gear. So that's basically what this first thing is all about. They wanted to just make sure that the people who are really playing at the high end can feel like their gear, like it's worth it to do the higher end content, because it means you're getting gear that can be upgraded a little bit further. So that's very cool, and I'm excited for that because I tend to do content that's a little bit on the higher end, which is great. It means I can upgrade my gear a lot further. Very excited about that. So again, heroes going from 5 to 6, mythics going from 3 to 4. Now, there's new item level differences as well. This is at the very end of it. I'll go to the very end quickly. 39 item levels. In Season 3, we're increasing item levels by 39 item levels over Season 2. Usually, the jump is 26. With the new upgrade system in place, players have been using it to achieve higher and higher levels than most previous seasons. This was intended, but a secondary effect that keeps this, yada, yada. It doesn't really matter. So, what does this mean? Well, we look at this chart here, and we can see that it's going to go all the way up to, I believe, 489 for the mythic Amidrosil stuff. And then if you see here, 483 is the highest you're going to get from the Great Vault if you're doing mythic +20 dungeons. So your end of dungeon is right here. You can get 470, and then you can upgrade that on the mythic track. And then you're going to be also getting the Great Vault loot will be even higher, of course, at 483. Okay, so this is pretty cool. I think this is an old article here and does not take into effect the most recent announcement that they just made about going 1 step further. So I'm not sure if they say it here. No, they don't tell you what the actual item levels be. It's going to be around 490. That's what you're going to be getting at, basically. 483, and then it's going to go up to like 490. If we look in the journal here for the Amidrosil raid on mythic, we can see 486, 489. There you go. 490 is basically what I said. That's the mythic 4 out of 4. Some of the super items at the end are probably going to go even higher. Let me see if we can get to the super rare items here. The Fire Rack Trinket goes to 496. Even higher, 496. Blossom of Amidrosil, 496. So that's going to be your super high end. Is going to be 490, 496. That's going to be kind of the range. That's the item level upgrade that we're going to. So think about it. Right now, the average person is sitting at like 446, 447. The really crazy people are up to like 450. This is my monk on the PTR. Don't be alarmed. your average player is sitting at like 446, 447 right now. We're going to go all the way up to 490, basically. 489, 490. That's a lot of item levels to get. So there's going to be lots of gear to grind over the course of the coming season, which is super, super cool. I'm excited for that. Okay, let's get to the next section here. PvP gear. So they're basically saying if you do PvP content, you'll get Flightstones and you'll get crests now. You're going to get those crests and you can upgrade them by just doing PvP content. That's very cool for the PvP guys. I don't care personally, but it's very, very cool. No more extra inventory space. So as you saw, I'm sure here, these crests down here, this took up 8 inventory slots, right? Because you had Whelpling, crests, and then the actual, like the fragments, then the crest. You had Whelpling, Drake, Worm, and Aspect. That's 8 bag spaces that are now going to be going into your resource tab. Right here. So they're going to turn into these dreaming crests up here, which is pretty cool. And you get 8 bag spaces back, which is super cool. And then you are now, in terms of crafting, let me pivot a little bit to the crafting section of this. You're basically, in order to get the enchanted crests, which you need to upgrade your gear, your crafted gear. So, for example, I had crafted gear on. These boots right here, slimy expulsion boots. I can upgrade these to 447 right now. I actually just did it on live the other night, but you can upgrade these even further in the next patch in Season 3. What you're going to need to do is come to this Andorus guy, who's the enchanting supplies. He's in Veldraken here, right down here. You come to him, or her, I guess, and she's going to be able to get you to buy these nascent crests, okay? So let's say I want to upgrade my current crafted gear to the highest possible. I would buy a nascent aspect streaming crest, and then I'm going to take it to the crafter over here, to the crafting orders, and I'm going to make an enchanted. Just like we do right now, you're going to make it enchanted. You have to do this with an order, with a work order, and here it is right here. Here's the enchanted aspect dreaming crest. They're all right here already. So you go and make it with the guy down there, the lady down there, sorry. Then you come up here and you send out the crafting order to get your enchanted dreaming crest. Then you can use the enchanted dreaming crest on your gear to upgrade it. That's how that's going to work now. We used to basically just combine these fragments into the crests, and then we would take that to this guy. Now you have to buy the crests from Andorus down there, okay? That's the only slight difference there. But the bottom line is we're reclaiming some bag space, which is super, super good. It's a currency now. You can see it up here in your tab. I like it. And you just have to buy your stuff with Andorus here now, okay? That's that section. Crest Cap update. This is kind of a big L, if I'm going to be honest. This is really bad. Basically, they're reducing the amount of upgrades that you can get each week to 6 instead of 10. So that's per crest type. So you can do 6 Whelpling upgrades, 6 Drake upgrades, 6 Aspect upgrades, you see what I'm saying? Depending on where the level of the gear is that you start at. This is going down from 10 to 6. This is kind of a giant L. I really hate when they do stuff like this. This is a really bad decision from Blizzard. I don't understand why they do this kind of thing. This is essentially just to slow down players who go right out of the gates in a season. If you're just pumping the raid and you're pumping Mythic Plus like right away as soon as the season starts, this is going to slow you down. So that's frustrating for me because I'm a player. I'm one of those players that wants to just get in and get my gear right away. So you'll be able to still run as many Mythic Plus dungeons as you want and do the raid as much as you can do it and get straight up gear from those activities. But upgrading gear on a week-to-week basis at the beginning is going to be slower than it is right now. So like in Season 2 when it started, you could upgrade 10 times, which is sick. It was so good. If you wanted to push really hard, you could. Now, this might not affect every single player. You might not even do 6 upgrades per week on like at the highest level, at like the worm level or the aspect level. That's fine, but I think for most people who are really serious about the game when it first comes out, this is an L, and this is just gonna slow you down, which is super annoying. Blizzard kind of makes a really stupid argument here by lowering the cap, we keep things the same for most players who generally never reach the cap anyway. And it's like, but we alleviate the pressure to max out quickly for the most engaged players. It's like, there's no pressure on me to like want to grind so hard that I max out. I just want to do as much as humanly possible in the first couple of days of a season, in the first couple of weeks, and get as much gear as I can. That's my, anyway, their argument is really dumb, but it is what it is. This is kind of where we're at. So that's annoying. Trade ups. This is pretty cool. So, this is actually a really giant W. This is not an L. So generally speaking, this is great news. You can basically trade 6-to-1 a lower crest into a higher crest. So you can get 6 like whelpling crests, turn them into a drake crest. 6 drake crests, turn them into an aspect crest, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? 6-to-1 gets you to the higher level. We never could do this before. This is really, really cool. So the primary reason that this is good is because if you have friends who join the season a little bit late and you want to go do content with them, you can go do content with them, and it's not an entirely like waste of your time. Let's say you're already into like a Mythic plus, 16s on like day 5 or something. You're doing Mythic plus 16s already. You're just flying. Your friend has been busy at work all week and they join. You're like, let's do some Mythic plus together. I got my character. Let's do it. And you're like, oh, okay, but we can only, they can only handle Mythic plus 10, Mythic plus 11. You're like, I'm already past that. That's okay. You can do it now, and then you can upgrade the lower crests that you're getting into the higher ones, so it's not a giant waste of time. This is still subject to the cap, okay? So this isn't like a way to cheese extra crests and get past the weekly cap that we just talked about. It's still going to be 6 upgrades per week per tier, okay? So, but this is a great incentive for you to do content that is below the level that you're kind of at right now in order to help your buddies, or even if you just want to chill. If you just want to do some easier content, just kick back and relax, you can blast a bunch of lower level keys and still get a bunch of crests that you can then upgrade to the higher level keys, which is super cool. And for players who are not as good at the game, or they take the game at a slower pace, they can actually do a whole bunch of keys at the lower level and upgrade those crests into a higher level crests in order to upgrade their gear. So maybe they have like a piece of raid gear that they got that requires the higher level crests to upgrade it. They can kind of do it that way. So it's great. It's more flexibility. It works both ways. It's good. It's a good change. Really, really good change. Crest Fallbacks. In conjunction with this change, there's a new Crest Fallback change. This basically says that if you're capped on one tier of crests, but you keep doing content in that range, so it'll keep earning you those crests that you're already capped on, you'll just get the next level down of crests, okay? So if you're doing Mythic plus 16s and you're getting the aspect crests, and then you get 90 of them for the week and you're all capped out, but your friends still want to do plus 16s because they're not capped out yet, so you keep doing plus 16s with them, you're not going to be getting any more crests. It's like a waste of time. You'll just get the next level down. I think the Drake Shadow Flame crests, you'll get those instead. And then once you're capped out on those, you'll get the next level down again. So you'll keep earning crests no matter what, which is actually fantastic because it means that even though you're capped on the aspect crests, let's say you earn 90 Drake crests, and then you're capped on that, and then you take a break till the reset. On reset, you can turn in 90 of those Drake crests as a 6-to-1 ratio and upgrade them immediately to the aspect crests, and then just go upgrade your gear. So, like, it's actually totally worth it to continue to do whatever content level you want, and you'll just keep earning crests, even if you get the lower crests. Then on the next week, you can upgrade them back to the higher tier crests. Kind of a cool conjunction here. These two things put together, okay? The fallback system plus the trade-up system is going to work together in tandem to help you. So more flexibility, more ability to move crests whichever direction you want to move them. And even though there's going to be a cap, you can sort of bank a bunch of crests this week and then immediately cash them in on the next reset. And that'll be kind of cool. So that's that one. And then there's the 39 item levels, and that's it. This is what they look like, the different crests. And ultimately, it looks to me like these quality of life features are all really good except for the cap. The cap going from 10 to 6 is crappy for people who really want to push hard in the first couple of weeks of the patch, that's going to be really awful for them. So a little bit annoying there. But ultimately, most of this is a huge W. Being able to trade up into this new cap is super cool. No more inventory space. You're going to get 8 inventory slots back. That's very cool. PvP will now contribute to getting these crests, and the tracks are now going to go up. So if you're pushing higher level content, you have a longer upgrade track to follow in order to get your item levels to be even higher, which is fantastic. It means you can push harder into higher level keys and you won't be as squishy, all that kind of stuff. Very, very good change. So I like all this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is very exciting. Blizzard is really paying attention. They're gathering feedback on this upgrade system that we've been working on, and they're making it better in Season 3. So let me know what you think in those comments down below. Thank you so much again for watching. I love you all. I will see you in the next one.